All right, so are you ready to dive into something pretty unique with me today? We're not doing a sales pitch or anything, but I found this product on Amazon that is just like begging to be unpacked. And it's a high-pressure toilet plunger.
Okay.
Yeah, you heard that right. It's called the Plunge Blaster. And trust me, the name is just the tip of the iceberg.
A plunger with a name like that, I mean, it's got to have some interesting features, right?
Oh, it does. I mean, the product title alone reads like someone just threw every possible keyword at it. High pressure toilet plunger, comma, plaster, plunge blaster, comma, sink plunger, comma, toilet unclogger, comma, plunger for toilet, comma, plungers, for bathroom, comma, toilet auger, comma, de stupidor de inodoro, comma, air plunger.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
They really want to make sure that no one misses this gem when they're searching for, plumbing solutions online.
Right. It's like the ultimate SEO strategy.
Yeah. But let's move past the marketing blitz here and look at what it claims to do. Adjustable high-pressure compressed air, and it can unclog even the toughest clog in seconds. I mean, they're setting the bar pretty high.
Right. Yeah, and maybe a little dramatically right. But before we get into whether it lives up to the hype, can you explain how a pressure plunger even works? Like, what's the difference between this and just the trusty old rubber cup?
Think of it like a bicycle pump, but for your pipes. A pressure plunger uses compressed air to force a clog out, creating a targeted burst of power. A traditional plunger relies on suction, which can be less effective depending on the type of clog you're dealing with.
Okay, so it's a bit more sophisticated than just brute force. Now, the description also mentions it's more efficient than a toilet auger or toilet snake. Could this thing really replace those heavy-duty tools?
I wouldn't throw out your auger just yet. While a pressure plunger can be very effective, especially for certain types of clogs, an auger is designed to physically break up stubborn blockages, which is sometimes necessary. Think of it this way. A pressure plunger might be your go-to for a quick fix, but an auger is your heavy artillery for those really stubborn situations.
Okay, so the blaster might be a good first line of defense before calling in the plumber. But what are people saying about it? I checked the reviews and found everything from glowing 5-star raves to complaints about design flaws.
Well, that's not unusual for newer products. I mean, sometimes those early iterations have kinks that need working out.
Oh, speaking of kinks, there's one review where the user had to resort to wrapping plastic wrap around the ball to keep the plunger head attached.
Oh, wow. Well, it does highlight the importance of reading reviews, though, right? Just to get a sense of the potential pitfalls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that stood out to me was the real-time pressure display. Is that just a marketing gimmick, or does a pressure gauge on a plunger actually serve a purpose?
That pressure gauge or barometer is actually crucial for safety and effectiveness. You need to monitor the pressure to avoid overinflating, which could damage your pipes or cause the plunger to detach unexpectedly. Not exactly the kind of explosion you want in your bathroom.
So it's like a built-in safety feature
Right.
to prevent plumbing mishaps. Smart thinking. And speaking of features, this plunge blaster comes with like all these different attachments for tackling different clogs in bathrooms, kitchens, you name it. They're really marketing it as like a versatile tool.
Yeah, and having a multi-purpose tool can definitely be handy. But it's essential to remember that, different clogs require different approaches. A clogged bathroom sink is a totally different beast than, say, a main sewer line blockage.
Right. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Nope.
Which brings us back to our initial curiosity. Is the plunge blaster worth the hype? What's the verdict?
Well, it's not a magic wand that will just vanquish every plumbing problem you ever have.
Right.
But it does have potential. Some users rave about its effectiveness while others point out flaws. It seems like a promising tool, especially for those who want a quick and potentially more powerful alternative to a traditional plunger.
So maybe not a plumber replacement, but a good addition to the homeowner's toolbox.
Exactly.
But before anyone rushes off to buy one, let's not forget about those reviews mentioning design quirks.
Absolutely. Reading reviews is crucial for any online purchase, especially for something like this. You want to see what real users are saying, both good and bad, before investing your hard-earned money.
Speaking of investments, this plunge blaster isn't exactly cheap. It's pricier than your average rubber cup plunger.
True, it's definitely an investment. But sometimes you get what you pay for, right? And if it saves you a call to the plumber, it might be worth the extra cost in the long run.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But all this talk about high-tech plungers makes me wonder if we're overcomplicating things. Maybe there's something to be said for the simplicity of that old-fashioned rubber cup.
Oh, absolutely. There's a certain elegance in its simplicity, a timeless design that stood the test of time. And let's be honest, sometimes the low-tech solution is the most reliable one.
I totally agree. But hey, if someone wants to embrace the latest and greatest in plunger technology, Who are we to judge? Plus, imagine the bragging rights. Oh, this clog. No problem. I've got my plunge blaster.
Haha. I can picture the superhero pose now. But in all seriousness, it's great that there are options out there for different needs and budgets. Whether you prefer the classic approach or the latest gadget, the important thing is to find what works best for you.
Well said. Now, while we're on the topic of innovative plumbing solutions, there's another product I stumbled across that deserves a mention. Have you heard of the automatic plunger?
The name rings a bell, but I can't say I'm familiar with the details.
This one is interesting. Imagine never having to touch a plunger again. The automatic plunger is a device that attaches to your toilet bowl, and with a push of a button, it uses suction and vibration to clear clogs.
So it's essentially a hands-free automated solution. That's pretty ingenious, and I can definitely see the appeal.
Right. No more awkward plunging, no mess. Just clean and efficient clog removal.
Yeah.
If you're curious, you can check it out at hegohere.com/automatic plunger.
I might just have to do that. It seems like we're entering a new era of plumbing technology with options ranging from high-tech plungers to fully automated systems.
It's definitely an exciting time for anyone who's ever battled a stubborn clog. But before we get too carried away with futuristic gadgets, let's remember that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. Yeah, sometimes that good old rubber cup is all you need. But it's fascinating to see how technology is changing even the most mundane aspects of our lives, like unclogging a toilet.
It really is. It's a testament to human ingenuity, I think. We're always looking for ways to make things easier and more efficient, even if it's just, eliminating the need to plunge a toilet.
Right, and who knows what's next? Maybe self-cleaning toilets that never clog in the first place.
One can only dream.
Right. But until then, we have a growing arsenal of tools to tackle those inevitable plumbing challenges.
We do.
Speaking of tools, let's wrap up our plunge blaster deep dive. What are your final thoughts on this unconventional plunger?
Well, it's certainly a product that sparks curiosity. It's innovative, potentially powerful, and definitely marketed to grab attention.
And maybe a little over the top with that name and product description.
Right.
Right. But hey, it got us talking about plungers, which is not something I do every day.
That's true. That's the beauty of online shopping, though, isn't it? You never know what quirky product you'll stumble upon that will send you down a rabbit hole of research and discussion.
Yeah, and sometimes those rabbit holes lead to surprisingly insightful discoveries. We learned about pressure plungers, the importance of reading reviews, and even got a glimpse into the future of bathroom technology.
Exactly. It's a reminder that there's always something new to learn, even from the most unexpected sources.
So to our listener, the next time you're facing a stubborn clog, remember you have options. You could reach for that trusty rubber cup, embrace the power of the plunge blaster, or dream of a future where clogs are just a distant memory.
And maybe, just maybe, this deep dive has inspired you to take a closer look at the everyday objects in your life and consider the innovation and evolution behind them.
Well said. Until next time, may your plungers be powerful and your pipes forever clear.